Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Okay, first of all, today's Thursday, which means there's a new podcast episode out now. So if you want to listen to it, the link is down below. If you didn't know, I have a podcast. I talk about books, about life, about all of that stuff. So if you want to go listen to it, the link is down below. I also want to thank Wondershare for sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to talk about them in a little bit, but first I'm going to tell you what this video is going to be about, what I'm going to talk about. So I think the most asked question on my TikTok since I started my book talk account is, how do I annotate my books, or what are those like little post-its on my books, all of that stuff. So in today's video, I'm finally going to be sharing how I annotate my books, and after that we're going to talk about the Kindle versus physical books, which is another question that I get so much. So let's get to today's sponsor. Okay, so this video is brought to you by Wondershare, specifically PDF Element. So PDF Element is a all-in-one smart PDF editor which offers the easiest way to create, convert, annotate, or sign PDF documents on Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. So I like to use PDF Element on my iPad, so I downloaded the app on my iPad from the iOS store. So you can also scan documents with the iPad and turn them into a digital PDF file, which is so helpful if you want to like convert your notes or any type of written assignment for school or for work, anything. You can convert that and scan that to your PDF Element app, which is so cool. So that's what I did right here. I scanned my to-do list, and basically after you scan your notes, you can edit them however you like. First, a little bit of information for the app. So these are the features. You can highlight text, you can strike through any text and underline. You can use the mark feature, which is basically for your like stylus or Apple Pencil, and you can just like literally write in the PDF file, which is awesome. You can also erase anything that you write, and you can add text. So you can add a text box or you can add a comment box, which is so cool. On the top, you can also add text and add images. And on the other side, you can add shapes, stamps, and you can do a digital signature, which is so helpful. So here I'm adding some text and some additional notes on my to-do list. I can also add shapes. So here I'm adding a text box with the date, so I don't forget the date because I forgot to put the the date on the to-do list. And I can change the font and colors of that text box. Next, I'm adding an additional message like a comment or a note with information so I don't forget like things that I need to remember for specific things on my to-do list. And lastly, I am making a digital signature to put on the bottom of the to-do list, which I'm honestly just like showing you how you can do this because it's honestly a very helpful feature. Like you can sign any type of PDF file, which is great because like personally, I need to sign documents digitally. So this makes it so much easier. The last thing that I do is share this PDF file to my Dropbox because I do like to use Dropbox. So I can put that to-do list file, PDF file onto a folder on my Dropbox. But you can also share it to other apps or like to your files, or you can also send the PDF file through email, which I'm also going to do here. I use the app Outlook, so I can send the PDF file to this through this app, which is awesome. So this is basically how I used the PDF Element app. So go ahead and click the link down below if you want to download the PDF Element app. So, okay, now let's get back into the video. So now let's get into today's video. So we're gonna start with how I annotate my books. If you don't know what this means, or like you haven't heard of it before, which when I started reading, I did not like understand like anything about this like at all. So I kind of like learned through TikTok videos and through other creators, other people who make book videos on TikTok or Instagram, etc. And at the end, I just like figure out a way that I like to annotate, and it's very different for everybody. So we're gonna get to it. So honestly, I haven't annotated a book in quite a long time. Like usually if I annotate a book, I am going to like do it as I read. So if I like start reading a book, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna annotate this book, etc. Which I haven't done in a while, but I have annotated lots of books. So I'm gonna use as an example Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, because I annotated the shit out of this book. Like, for me, that's a lot. Like, the first thing that you need to know about how I annotate my books is what I use to annotate my books. So a lot of people like to highlight or like take a pencil and just like write their thoughts while they're reading in like some parts of the books, and just like write things or underline quotes, which I have done before, like underline quotes that I like, but I like don't do it often because honestly I'm just lazy, so I honestly don't do it. And I also get questions on like, how do you decide which book to annotate and which book not to, like, and honestly I don't have an answer to that. It's just when I feel like it. What I use to annotate my books is Pagemates. So I got these Pagemates off of Amazon. The link is going to be down below. Just to let you know, if you decide to buy from the link down below, I do get a small commission. It does not affect your price or anything on your end. You're just helping me, and I love you if you shop from that link. Love you. But it's actually a great deal. These Pagemates, so good. So they come in this little pack, and these are a lot, and I think they're like $8 for all of these. These are the Pagemates. They actually come in different like styles, different styles, and I love that about this. The first style is kind of with the pointy kind of arrow kind of thing. The next style is just like a rectangular, like normal kind of style, like these. And the last one is just, it looks like a ribbon, I would say a ribbon. So basically, when I start annotating a book, like I'm gonna start reading a book, right? Okay, so I take my book, and at the end of the book, like at the last page of the book, I'm gonna put the Pagemates, but I'm gonna write what each Pagemate represents, basically. So each color represents something. So that is basically how I like to annotate, because I don't know, it's kind of like simple and easy, and I don't really have to do anything. So this is what the back of the book looks like. So as you can see, it's basically I put the Pagemates and I write what each color represents. So basically, red represents smut, pink are cute moments, or like cute things, I don't know. This kind of green is funny or awkward moments. This dark green are scary or like creepy moments. The blue is sad, anything that's sad. This one, the orange one is like mad or WTF moments. The purple are plot twists, and then the yellow are quotes that I like. It's very simple, like literally that's what I do. So whenever I start, like if I start reading a book, whenever I find like a cute moment or a funny moment that I like laugh at some point, I just take the Pagemate, practically like a sticky note, and I put them here. Put them at the end of the page, which this is a mistake that I did when I started annotating, that I put the like sticky notes way too far, like sticking out, which really does bother me now, because when I kind of like put them into my bookshelf, they kind of crumple, and but that was a mistake of mine. if you like putting it that way, that's totally fine, but now that I like look back to it, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I do get questions on like, what do I do with these two colors? Like, I honestly like don't know. I honestly don't use them. I don't use these two pinks. It's kind of like a purple pink and then a pink. Yeah, I don't use them. You can do whatever you want. I don't know. But that's how I like to annotate. So also, as you saw on the Wondershare PDF Element app, you can actually use the app to like write the quotes that you like, start a new document. So this is something that I want to do, like I want to start doing. Like for every book that I read, I want to use the PDF Element app and kind of like make a new document for every single book basically, and just start writing the quotes that I like and the page numbers, which is so important because if I want to take a photo afterwards of the quote on the book, it's so freaking hard to find the quote. So might as well just use the app and start doing that, because that would be so helpful. That would actually be so helpful. If you want to get the app or the PageMate, both links are going to be down below. That's the info for that. Let's get into Kindle versus physical books. Okay, let's get into Kindle. So I'm going to talk about the Kindle first. Right now I don't have battery on my Kindle, so bear with me. I'm not actually going to like show you the inside of the Kindle, whatever. This is the Kindle that I have. So I have the Kindle Paperwhite. I think it's the 8 gigabytes. I think, yeah, it's like 8 gigabytes. So there are actually a lot of prices, like different prices for the Kindle. I honestly, like, I'm not an expert when it comes to Kindles. So I have the Kindle Paperwhite. I'm gonna put it down below. You link to Amazon if you want to get it. I think this one is the 8 gigabyte and it's $90. This is the one that I have. Let me show you. So, story on why I got the Kindle. I started reading through my iPad. Like, I use the iBooks app, the iOS app for books on my iPad. But I think I read 3 books on there and my eyes started like, obviously not hurting it. Like, I started getting like migraines and like I was starting to get really dizzy because I do struggle a lot with like motion sickness. If I use my phone too much or if I use my laptop too much, anything that has the like really bright lights, I get really dizzy and it makes me sick. So I started reading on my iPad and that started happening, and actually my eyesight was getting so much worse because I literally could not even read. I had glasses and I have glasses, but my eyes would get so tired that I was just start seeing blurry. So that was like evidently the reason why I chose to buy a Kindle, and the other reason that when I started reading I didn't have the option to buy books. So that was another reason why I got the Kindle, because I did not have the option at the time to buy books. Now I have figured out a way to do it, but because other things, shipping is crazy expensive. Books are heavy, which is all plays a part in the shipping and the cost. It's honestly a bit of a hassle to do, so getting a Kindle was like the best option at the moment, and it was great. It helped so much. I could read any book that I wanted. It did not hurt my eyes. Like, my eyes did get tired because if I read for a lot of hours, like obviously I'm gonna get tired. But it wasn't like I was dizzy or it felt really bad. So that was great. I used the Kindle for a long time until I started getting physical books. So this is the other one. I got my Kindle when I hadn't even like read a book from a physical copy. So I didn't even know what it felt like to read a book from like a book, like a physical book. Which, if now I have to choose, I am gonna choose a physical copy. I don't know why. When you have a Kindle, I just don't feel like you have the whole experience. But that's just me, because I know a lot of my like book talk friends and people I know from book talk or bookstagram, like they love their Kindle, which is so cool. But I'm not saying that I don't like my Kindle, because I do. Don't get me wrong. But I prefer physical books versus the Kindle. But again, you need to figure out what works best for you, because if getting a Kindle is what is gonna be the best option for you, then obviously get the Kindle. If I hadn't been able to like buy physical books, obviously the Kindle would have been like the perfect solution. It was for a while until I got the option to buy physical books. That's my advice. Like, analyze your situation and just see if a Kindle is gonna work best for you. And there's also the thing where obviously if you buy books from like for the Kindle or like ebooks, like specifically ebooks, they're gonna be a lot more affordable than physical books. That's just another fact which plays a part, like a really big part in deciding if you want a Kindle. And let's put another thing with the Kindle that is very good. You basically can read whatever book you want in a second. If you want to get like a physical copy, you maybe have to order it online, or you need to wait for it to arrive, or you need to wait to go to a bookstore, etc., etc. Shipping is expensive, all that stuff. It's honestly very convenient. It's very, very convenient. And I do really recommend to get a pop socket for it, because you can basically just like hold your Kindle a lot better, because when I first got it, I did not have this, and you just have to like hold it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on physical books and the Kindle. If you want to like a specific video on talking about Kindle and like how to use it and all that stuff, I can get into that in another video, but it may need to be in another video, because if not, this video is going to be too long. So yeah, I prefer physical books at the moment because I have a lot of physical books that I haven't read. That is a video. That's how I annotate my books. That is my thoughts and opinions on Kindle versus physical books. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you want the PageMates, if you want the Kindle, the links are down below. And if you want to use the PDF Elements app, which is so great, I've been using it for a couple of days and so good. So yeah, that's also, the link is gonna be down below. And that's gonna be it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I love you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Make sure to listen to the podcast because I have a new episode today. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you Saturday, I think. Yeah, I will see you Saturday. Bye.
Oh, corks and bottles ready to pop out. Oh, no more crying. We are knocking out another year of new loves.